Welcome to another episode of Teach Me. Now, we got one of the most amazing players in Tekken, Lil Majin, to do King. It's only right to get him again for Armor King, right? So let's get into this episode. Remember to subscribe to the content. Yeah? Subscribe, leave a comment, like if you don't like the series. Let's get into it.
Armor King.
What's going on, everyone? We got Lil Majin here again. You know, he gave us that excellent advice on King. Now we got the King with armor. So, Lil Majin, let's go over the changes, man. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me again, man.
It's a pleasure to have you, man. So, we have 2-1. They changed the damage from 12 to 15. So, I think that's the last hit they're talking about. So, well, not this, but...
Right.
Okay. Look at that.
Yeah, so that was a buff to make the damage like the same as King. So altogether it should be 25 instead of what it used to be. I think it was like 20, 22 or something like that before. But yeah, he's got like a couple of damage increases on this season 4 change list.
That's pretty crazy. So I never really knew that King and Armor King's one was different in terms of like the damage. I thought they were both pretty. I knew there were somewhat similar looking moves, but you actually had the knowledge of the damage, and that's actually good to know. I didn't know that. I'm always learning something in Tekken, man. So
yeah, there were buffs to King where they changed his 2-1's damage. They increased it, and like forward 2-1 as well. But Season 4, Armor King finally got the damage increase. So yeah, forward 2-1 is finally 37 to match King, and also his 3+4 got a damage buff. As you can see, it's 14 damage instead of 10. I don't understand why they made it hurt. A man flipping on you, hurts as much as a jab. But that was a welcome buff, that's a good damage increase. Makes the whole string, hurt a lot more.
Definitely.
Pretty noticeable buff.
And then we got 1+4, increase the strength for the pushback to reduce the frequency of which the character, your opponent, would trade places.
Yeah, now that's a buff I haven't actually like played around with it a lot. Because like all of the tech traps he has, they all still work like fine. So it's hard. I guess it was like a bug fix or something.
That would make sense. So he has, obviously we spoke about 4-2-1. They changed the damage from 20 to 25. Down forward 1, they decreased the distance between the character and opponent when the move hits. Now this is a big thing.
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah, first, in like season 3, you can hit with down forward 1 only like a certain amount of times before they were so far away, You have to dash back up. So yeah, that's a pretty big buff. Makes things like, down forward 1 into itself, or like down forward 1 into throw. So much easier to land, they just can't, get hit by it and just backdash everything. You see, I'm trying to backdash.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it pretty much locks them in place, which is a pretty big buff.
That's absolutely crazy. And then we have down forward 2. So down forward 2, they changed the frame advantage upon hit from -1 to +4.
Yeah, that is godlike. That is actually godlike.
Whoa.
So it's like he could check you with down forward 2, and then he can do stuff like down forward 1, uncontested. He can do down forward 2 into like his throw game, uncontested. So yeah, that is a huge buff. I mean, the move is still -12 on block, but at least you can hit with the move and continue your offense instead of hitting with the move and you have to respect what the opponent does. So that's a pretty big buff.
Definitely. So on to the next one. We have during Shadow Step 1. Now this move, I'll let you talk, man. I'll let you talk. This move is pretty good. So it's from the step, right? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's from Shadow Step. Shadow Step 1. You know, really quick. 11 frames, and +1 on block even. So which means, you know, he can do that into giant swing. It can't be, you know, interrupted with an attack even on block. And pretty good frames on hit as well. Yeah, so as you can see, +8. That's like opening the gateway for like a lot of stuff. Like they hold their face. He can do down forward too. He can do so many moves without having to worry about, you know. And then the best thing about the move is that on counter hit, it's a launcher. So yeah, that's pretty good. See? Yeah, that's pretty big. So it makes the opponent have to respect the Shadow Step on its own.
I mean,
because at first, you know,
no one respected
really
it before.
Slow. Yeah, there was no reason to. I mean, the mid option, just that, and the low option. The low is actually good. But people would, you know, sometimes attack him. But if they like try to hop kick or something, he does the needle here. They can get floated for a full combo. So that is a very nice new move.
Nice. And we have another Shadow Step move, which is during Shadow Step 2, change the move to send the opponent spinning when it hits them, when it hits the midair. So, you know, forward 3 would be a prime example, because you could do forward 3 down into a combo, which looks, to me, it looked odd when I first saw it. I was like, huh?
Yeah, it's but look, it's actually like the first of its kind, you know, a tail spinning low.
Exactly.
That's pretty OD.
What do you think about that then?
I think it's good. I think it's really good, because at first, like in like seasons before this, if you were to go into Shadow Step after hitting with the full forward 3, it was super hard to still get a tailspin. Like you had to do like a Shadow Step and like the wave dash afterwards, and then do the down 3+4-1.
Oh.
But yeah, so now it's like no point in like not going into Shadow Step, because it helps with the whiff recovery on the full forward 3. You know, you recover crouching. So a lot of characters have like high hitting launchers or like high hitting like whiff punishers. So this move here, you know, it all goes hand in hand. I can't get the combo, but yeah, it's pretty damaging too. Yeah, see, 69, just 3 hits.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a super buff. Because it's more uses. He can actually do it from back 1 on counter hit as well. Yeah, he can still get the Shiner Wizard after that as well. So yeah, that's a welcome buff.
Definitely crazy. And then we have down back 2-4. They increase the low range of the attack. So that is this.
Well, it's the 4.
Oh, the 4. Okay, yeah, this
yeah.
one.
Right. So the buff had to have been to the roundhouse part of it, and not the down back 2, because now instead of just only being guaranteed against big characters, like if he hits a counter hit back 1, he could just run it against everybody. It works against every size. Like every character on the game can get tailspin from his back 1. And that was like one of the biggest gripes from like Armor King players in prior seasons, is like his back 1 combo was just so inconsistent, you know. It was hard to see. You wouldn't even been able to get a combo right there. So it's like that was the you see that it's like super inconsistent. You had to like do a jab, and sometimes even that would miss. You know, even if you were to get the like perfect flip over with this. But now like the combined buffs of the Shadow Step 2 tail spinning, and like the second hit of down back 2-4 having a much lower hitbox, he's always gonna get a good combo from counter hit back 1. So yeah, that is a huge buff.
Crazy. So we have down back 3. So they changed the damage from 20 to 23. Changed the move to a homing attack.
Right.
Sorry, even every time I see that, I'm just like, huh? But yeah, adjust the motion since it was difficult for the opponent to jump status to land a mid attack. So that's a bug fix. So this is now homing.
Right. I'm even trying to do the step. You know, it's true homing. I mean, it's a welcome buff. I mean, the low kick needed some kind of perks to it. You know, it was slow. You know, it's pretty slow coming in at 23 frames. It's like seeable, you know, because it has like a telegraph animation. So it was hard to land that move against someone who's like watching. But the addition to the tracking, making it homing, you know, people would step Armor King all day. So sometimes, you know, this move would get stepped, you know. So if you like call out an opponent trying to step everything, then that low can actually hit them now. So yeah, it's a welcome buff, you know, damage increase as well. So yeah, that is pretty good. Still wouldn't recommend using that move a lot, but yeah, I would take the buffs.
Nice. We have back 1-2, change damage from 15 to 17. So I think just a damage change.
Yeah. Right. Again, that's a buff to kind of match King's back 1-2. But of course, King's back 1-2 still does a lot more damage. But Armor King having some damage behind his now, you know, with the +6, that's welcome. So he's got like a frame more on hit and like a couple points less on hit. So yeah, it's a welcome buff.
Nice.
Give fewer chances to make mistakes.
So we have back 4. They change the frame of advantage when blocked from -11 to -9. Change the frame of advantage upon hit from 0 to +2. Decrease the distance between the character and opponent when a move is blocked. So that's the Stone Cold Stunner?
Right.
I don't know if it's 1+2, I think you can get from it.
Yeah, it's 1+2.
I don't seem to. Oh, I'm not saying I didn't look like I could do it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a buff. I think that like the last line, decreasing the distance on block, that's kind of a nerf. Makes it so that like he really loses his turn, because at first it had some pretty good pushback. Like even though it was punishable, you know, -11, most of the cast could not punish that move even at point blank. So now it's 100% safe, but the pushback makes it so that, you know, he loses his turn. It's -9, and the plus frames on hit, that's always welcome. It makes it so that the opponent has like less time to guess correctly if he's gonna do the ground stumps or like a shoulder or like forward 4 or something like that to hit them on the ground. So yeah, that's welcome. Makes the move a lot more usable now.
No, that definitely makes sense. That definitely makes sense. We're gonna move on to up back 1+2, where it fixed an issue which the properties of the move were not the same as other characters. Explain this one to me, because I saw it and I didn't understand.
I really can't explain it. I mean, this is like a little bug fix, but it's weird though, because like characters, their jumping attacks, they may look the same, but they're not all the same, because like both Kings have like a jumping forward neutral too, and it looks exactly like this for both characters. The only difference is like Armor King's actually knocks down, where a lot of other characters like it doesn't. So
what the? I have never seen that move in my life.
It's actually a combo starter. He can I don't know if Armor King is like the right size for it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like you could block a hell sweep and do it, but he can actually get down back 2-4 against a lot of characters. Yeah, I don't think I can land it on Armor King.
That is crazy. Let me try again. So I'm so confused about why he has. Yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy.
It's hard to land, but yeah, against certain characters, like I know for certain against Fakaram, he can get a tailspin from it, but against everyone else, just shoulder.
So I learn something new every day, man, with this game. All right, cool.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, like the up back 1+2. I mean, I don't know what that change is. Maybe it knocked down at first, but you know, I just don't know.
yeah. Okay, so we have up forward 3, increase the lower range of the attack. So definitely looks like he travels quite a distance and it's not going high up. No, it goes high, but it's more cross than high up.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like the King forward 3 buff. Like they increased the lower range of the attack, but they're like kind of like double buff. It increased the actual range too. So it's like range and lower hitbox. So that's like 2 buffs in one.
Yeah.
So I mean I like the move, but I mean I'll take the buffs because remember in season 3 they changed how this move launched on counter hit. So yeah, that's a pretty welcome buff. So they just expanded his like counter hit tools.
Yeah. On the next one, it is up forward 4, increase the range of the attack. So up forward.
Yeah, so hop kick. That's like a that's a buff a lot of people have been wanting for Armor King for like a while now. I don't think it's like the range that everyone wanted. They wanted it to have like some Miguel range or something like that, but I think it's kind of noticeable. It's not like super duper noticeable, but it's like mainly for his punishment.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's some punishment buff on the range.
Okay, and then the next one we have forward 2. They changed the frame advantage when blocked from -11 to -8. So this move.
Right. Yeah, so that move actually used to be jab punishable, and now it's completely safe. So it's a really good approach tool to like mix up with like the crazy amount of highs Armor King has. You know, a lot of people would duck against Armor King if he was coming in because of like clothesline, God Fist, 4 forward 3, like so many highs, you know, or like throws even, you know, Shining Wizard, Giant Swing, any of that. You know, Armor King had a lot of high approach tools that had pretty good tracking, but like 4 forward 2, you know, you wouldn't use that move because it was punishable.
Sure.
But now, you know, he can use it and not have to worry about, you know, getting punished on block. So yeah, that's a really good move now because it's safe, and then the pushback makes it like even better. So he can like have you block it and like backdash it like open space. Yeah, you see, it's like really good pushback. So he can like potentially steal a turn right there. So yeah, that's a pretty big buff there.
I agree. So we have forward 3. They changed the frame advantage when blocked from 0 to +2.
Right. So yeah, that is pretty big. I can't remember the exact frames on season 3 and like season 2, but 4 forward 3 into shadow step is +4 on block now. When I think it used to be +2. I think it used to be +2 if you went to shadow. But yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
So he can actually, you know, 4 forward 2, giant swing uninterrupted. Any throw really, because he's +2 instead of like a +1 or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty big for a safe homing high launcher with pretty good range.
So the next one is running free. They increase the lower range of their attack. So it's kind of sounding like King and Armor King, kind of similar.
Right. Yeah, he's actually kicking much lower.
Exactly. You can see it.
You can see the difference. So I don't know what made them do that. I mean, that move had a pretty huge hitbox, you know, even before this buff. But of course, they didn't change the tracking on it at all.
Do you know what I think it is? I feel like they wanted to give him a lot of pressure tools now, because you know it looks high from the last one. The last one was high. This one looks like you could just do that You know, it's quite plus. What is that? Plus 10.
Yeah, but the problem with it is that, while it is plus 10,
Pushback.
the pushback is just so great. He can't really do any like good mix-ups. He has to still dash in for it.
That's true.
And stuff like, down 4-1, it just whiffs.
Oh, all right.
So,
I mean, I get it now. I definitely get it. Wow, down for one.
But
misses.
maybe, yeah, down 4-1 misses, like throws, they all miss if he does like anything that's like a command throw. Yeah, he can't like do a quick throw mix-up unless their back is against the wall. So it's a move I don't really use a lot with Armor King, but like the lower hitting hitbox, I guess that's for like, again, Ling, AOP, or like low profiling attacks. It's definitely gonna hit them now. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I welcome the buffs. I mean, he's got so many buffs so far. Still even more to come.
Still more. There's still more. That leads us on to his next one, which is While Rising 1. Increase the move's reach. Now, wow. He's just getting a lot of reach and, damage buffs.
Right. So, I mean, it had like decent reach at first. It wasn't just horrible, but there was still more to be desired, because King's full crouch, gut punch is just like half screen, and then there's Armor King with a little bitty elbow,
It's true.
But yeah, but now, I mean, much more range. This isn't even just for punishment. It's even for like, standalone mix-ups, because he can do it from crouch dash if you like do it right. Yeah, like back one. And as you can see, it has pretty decent tracking. So yeah, that's a pretty good mix-up for like his crouch dash multis. Having extended reach just makes it a lot stronger. So yeah, that's a welcome buff.
Nice. And then he has While Rising 2. They changed the frame advantage when blocked from -10 to -9, so it's now a safe move. And they changed the frame advantage upon hit from +2 to +3. How do you feel about that?
I feel that is one of the buffs that stood out like the most to me with Armor King. I was like, wow. So, people were complaining about Leroy's back 1+2. It's a 12 frame safe mid launcher that on counter hit. So Armor King has a While Standing 2 that has more range.
And it's safe.
And it's safe. And it's also 12 frames, and he gets a mega combo, he can go into that.
Oh,
so yeah, that's that is a huge buff. I mean, and then you can fish for it. And again, you can do it from crouch dash if you crouch dash into back 2. He can do it from that. So it's like a viable approach tool on top of just being a good, counter hit fishing tool. It just makes like some of his lows like down 4, while being -2 if they like try something, slow 14 frames or slower, then you could just check them with that. So it used to be -12 on block. It used to be very punishable. So now it's safe. You can just throw it out.
I can't believe it. And these, everyone was complaining about Leroy's one. It's 12 frames, safe. And then now everyone is saying like, that's crazy. But it's good that we have Armor King having more changes, and it's, for me personally, I kind of welcome it, because I liked Armor King in Tekken Tag 2, but I felt like in Tekken 7, I feel like he was not the same. You can't be as aggressive. He doesn't really stand out compared to the rest of the roster, but it seems like they're changing a lot of his stuff around in season 4.
Oh yeah, I mean, I felt Armor King was very different. In Tag 2, he was just the ultimate fighter. The ultimate character. He was able to be paired with any character on the game and make the team great. But then he's on this game, coming from Tag 2 and Tekken 6, where he was so strong, and then he was just so underwhelming. He just wasn't complete. But I think season 3, they made him a lot more complete, but still more to be desired. But with these buffs here, these are like all mega buffs. They're not even just little buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's super complete now.
Super complete. There's 4 more changes left. So there is one with his 10-hit combo, and it says change the frame of footage upon hit from +5 to +8. We're not gonna get into that because that's just a 10-hit combo, and I don't really want to teach people to do 10-hit combo. So let's ignore that one. Sorry about that, everyone. But yeah, we have the giant swing where they increase the move tracking. So it's kind of similar to, well, I think it's exactly the same as King's giant swing when they changed that. So basically, they just increase tracking so you can't step.
It's actually different because remember King's Tijuana Twister, which is Giant Swing 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that got the tracking buff. Yeah, it was like a mistranslation of something early on in the patch notes.
Oh.
Yeah, even I was confused on it, you know. But yeah, it's actually Armor King's Giant Swing that got the tracking buff, and King's Tijuana Twister. So King's Giant Swing is the same, but Armor King got a buff.
Ah, okay. So it wasn't King's Tombstone then? Nah, it wasn't, was it?
Yeah, it was both of King's, like 2 of King's 2-break command throws. They got the tracking buffs. But Armor King got Giant Swing and Tombstone, so he got the 1-break and the 2-break, while King just got 2 2-break tracking buffs.
Wow.
So yeah, they hooked Armor King up pretty much.
That's crazy. So both of the throws increased the range, so that that it's harder for people to just step the throw now. Sometimes what people like to do is like they either duck a throw or they try to sidestep a throw. So this is now making the throw game at high level a lot more scary.
Right. I mean, even at the the higher and lower levels or mid levels, it's like all the levels, and you just got to remember that so many of these buffs, they kind of like coincide with each other. Like down 4-1 having less pushback on a hit. That makes it so that the Giant Swing and Tombstone mix up is harder to avoid. Like you're gonna have to actually sit there and take it pretty much and break the throw the right way. So yeah, that's, and like the plus frames on like 4-forward-3, all that stuff it's all coinciding with these throw buffs at the end, and tracking. So yeah, that is pretty big for Armor King.
Crazy. And we got the last one, which is quarter circle back 1+2. So again, similar to King's, you can the input can now be buffered, fixing the issue, but the move could not be performed when the input was 1+2 was delayed. Now, so it's the same thing. You can store this and then do this.
And again, like I said, the buffs are all just rolling together. You hit with a down 4-1, you can just buffer. Yeah. Yeah, and they have to, it's like the 3-way mix up, Giant Swing with improved tracking, Tombstone with improved tracking. You can buffer, the Hades drop. So yeah, it's good. I hope that's called the Hades drop.
It looks like a Hades drop. It looks.
Yeah. But yeah, it's bufferable, and just like with King, you can buffer it for a long time. Like it's like the input storing on the move is just ridiculous. Like you can hit like quarter circle back, dash forward, then you can hit back, then forward again, and still get the move to come out. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, you see that? That was. Let me try and show you guys the command. That was quarter circle back, forward, then back 1+2, and it still stored it.
That is crazy.
That is a huge buff. Like Armor King, I mean, he was overdue for buffs, and I feel like his season 4 changes, they're better than King's, honestly.
Yeah. No,
aside from aesthetics on the new move, King has a better looking new move than everyone, but Armor King, his new move has a lot of utility, so it's pretty good.
That is crazy. So we're now on to the part where we talk about the strengths and buffs. So obviously we spoke about that quite a bit. He seems like a strong character. What do you think about the strengths and buffs?
Yeah, I think they really wanted Armor King to have more damage, as you can see with like the 2-1, the back 1-2, the forward 2-2-1, the 3+4, all moves, you know, getting damage increases. And then he got like some frame increases, like 4 forward 3, being +2, and now +4 if he goes to Shadow Step. Moves like Wild Standing 2. This is like huge to me because it's a safe 12 frame mid that has good range and it counter hit launches. You know, it's all like really good. 4 forward 2 being safe. Yeah, they wanted the character to be safer and have better frames, you know. Down forward 2 now +4 on hit instead of -1. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they wanted this character to be out here in these tournaments. So yeah, he's definitely gonna make a return whenever, you know, this pandemic is over. We're gonna see some more JDCR, I'm sure. I know that guy is happy. I'm happy for him. And I'm happy for me if I have to like switch from King to Armor King. Yeah, these are some crazy good buffs. So all in all, yeah, he's all buffs pretty much.
Yeah. Any weaknesses and nerfs, you think? Because I didn't see any.
No, absolutely no nerfs to Armor King. The only thing I would say is like, you know, certain things, certain weaknesses are, you know, they're still apparent with Armor King. His tracking is still, you know, it's still pretty honest. So he's not just a super, you know, super character that like everything tracks both directions and all that. He still has to play good, honest Tekken and high level. So yeah, his weaknesses are pretty much still the same. But these buffs, they can kind of mask them.
Definitely. If there was one thing that you could add to Armor King, like one thing, like what would it be? But like, I have an idea.
I have 2 things. Can I have 2? Maybe even 3 things?
All right, let's go. Like, let me hear your three things that you would add.
Okay, so some quality of life things. I mean, first of all, I don't understand why Armor King does not have a wall throw.
That's true.
Come on, Bamco. Like, he does not have like an Armor King wall throw. You know, Craig, he can power bomb him at the wall. Then you have, you know, Lily, she has a wall throw. Jack, he has a wall throw. Obviously, King has one. So I'm like, why doesn't the Armor King have a wall throw that's just like super good with animation? That's something I really wanted, like his new move to be, was like a wall throw. But of course I didn't get it. We got this instead. You know, we have to take it. But that is like the first on the list. Why didn't they give him a wall throw? But
they could have gave him anything, like maybe like, you know, they go on the wall, he does like a super kick, or he does like a missile drop kick, or something that makes him just look like he's got authority. Because right now he just seems like you're just giving him just the bare bones. He ain't got anything. He's just got moves, but it's not stylish with it, you know.
Yeah, I mean they gave him a couple of stylish moves. Like, I really like this move here.
Yeah.
And like the new wall jump, which it does pretty much the same thing, but he was lacking some flair. He was lacking a little bit of flair on his animations. I wish they would have given him a wall throw. And also, just to kind of coincide with that, why doesn't he have a one like a 1 air throw or a 2 air throw? He only has Giant Swing and Shining Wizard. That stuff would have been great for him to have, you know, because he's a king. You know, King has a 1 and a 2, and so does Marduk. Like, he's a grappler. Give him more grapples. So those are like the 2 biggest things. And like the third and final thing I wanted Armor King to have is more range on this move here. Crouch dash 4. It has like no range. Even though like he's like coming in with the knee, I would think like, you know, Sagat from Street Fighter, like the Tiger knee, how it kind of hit on the way down. Like his knee is still out there, but it has like no range. But other than that, like those are like the three biggest things I've wanted for Armor King. I still have yet to get them. Maybe, you know, if they continue with Tekken 8 and they put him on the game, maybe we'll get that.
All right, then, cool, man. Well, Lil Majin, it's been a pleasure to get you on this season of Teach Me. Really appreciate it. Obviously, go and check out Lil Majin's content on YouTube. Obviously, he has merch as well. I've seen the giant swing one. That one, I really like that one, man. I'll probably put it up here so you lot can see as well. Yeah, go and check out the merch. Go and support it. Support his channel as well. Subscribe. He's putting out content and stuff like that as well. And very great player, great content creator as well. So go and support him. So yeah, man, thank you very much, Majin. And yeah, this is the end of the show. So take care, everyone. Peace.